You're welcome once again to New Focused Approach to Mathematics Basic 8. In this lesson, we are looking at rotation, and the aspect is drawing images in a coordinate plane using rotation 244. So we're looking at when we have a point, how do you rotate the point? Using the protractor approach. Again, then we'll use the calculated value, that is the formula or the relations. This is open board software and we want to use it to do the demonstration. The question goes like this: rotate the point M. Look at where the point M is. Through the angle 90 degrees. We'll do 90, 180, and 270. Then we look at the relations. And so with the 90 degrees, first of all, let's have our point. So what you do is that you have a point, then you draw a line, okay? You draw a straight line from the point to the origin. Then you put your protractor in such a way that the middle line is with the middle line is at the origin, whilst the baseline flashes with the line that we want to measure the angle from. And so we try to measure the angle 90 degrees. So 90 degrees will be somewhere here, right? There's a 90 degrees. So we draw a straight line from the center to that 90 degrees. Okay. Then when we are done, we'll take our compass or we'll take our pair of divider, put a compass pin at the origin. Now open the compass to the point where our point M is, okay? Then we will rotate it until we get to this point, probably, and draw a line there. Okay, so we'll draw a line there. There's a slight error here. The line is not passing through exactly 90 degrees. So the line is supposed to pass through this particular point. Yeah, when you do it properly, it's supposed to pass through this point. And the point there, so let me call it M1, and the point there is -4 and then +3. Now, if you compare the 2 points, the first point is the original point is 3, 4, and then the image is giving us -4, 3. So like we did in our previous lesson, you see the relationship. So if the original is xy, the image is becoming y negative than the x. So when you rotate a point anti-clockwise 90 degrees, if the original is xy, the image becomes -yx, right? Let's do the same thing with 180 and see the relationship. So we join the point again from M to the center. Then we put our protractor on top of it, making sure that the center touches the center of the plane, and then the line flashes. And then we draw a straight line from the center to the 180. So there's the 180 angle. This is the 180 angle. Let me stretch it a bit. So the next thing is to bring our compass, put the compass pin at the center, take the measurement of the length of the point to the center of the circle, so the center of the plane, and then move it until it can draw right. So now that we have this, we can now position our point. We can position our point M, so the M prime, and then this M prime now becomes -4, -3 rather, -4. Then again, -3, -4. The original point was still 3 and then 4, and then the image is -3, 4, which means that if the original is xy and you rotate 180 degrees, you get the image to be the same xy, but then you negate both x and y, and that becomes the relationship. The same thing can be done for 270. And 270, instead of doing 270, you can do, instead of doing 270 anti-clockwise, you can do 90 degrees clockwise. Because 270 anti-clockwise will start from here, move to this, and come back to this place. But it's the same as going 90 degrees clockwise. So that will be the easy way out. And 90 degrees clockwise, if you do it very well, that one too will give you the formula, which will be if x is xy, sorry, if the point is xy, then our image becomes yx. But this time around, you negate the x like we did earlier on. Let's use this formula to solve this question. Using the scale of 2 centimeters to 1 unit on both axes, draw two perpendicular axes, OX and OY. That is what I've done, and we label it -5 to 5 at the x-axis. We've done that, and then that of the 6 also, -6 to 6 also at the y-axis. So here is +6 here, and here is -6 here as well, 6. Then we have to plot the points A, B, and C. So A is 2, 1, so we plot 2, 1. B is 1, 3, we plot 1, 3, and C is 3, 3, so we plot 3, 3. Then we join them together. Now we have to draw the image of A1, B1, C1 of rotation 180 degrees, where A maps to A1. And so if you use the A original, we're supposed to be 2, 1, and you rotate it 180 degrees. We said it earlier on, that is going to give us 2, 1 the same way, but then it will be negated. And so we still plot our point 2 and -1, and they'll meet somewhere here. So that becomes our image A prime. Then the same thing can be done for the B prime. That one too, if the original is 1, 3, the image becomes -3, -1. So -1, -3. Then the C is 3, 3. So the image becomes -3, and that. Then again, we join to get our rotation 180 degrees. Then we have to draw the image A2, B2, C2 of ABC under clockwise rotation 270 degrees. And here 270 degrees is the same as doing 90 degrees clockwise. 90 degrees clockwise. And that one too, if the original is XY, our image becomes clockwise rotation means our S, Y goes to S and S comes to Y, but S will go to negative. And so if the original is 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, then the image is going to be 1, -2. So 1, -2, we'll plot our point here. If the B is 1, 3, the image becomes 3, -1, and so we get it here. Then the last one is 3, 3, the image becomes 3, -3. Then again, we put them together, and that gives us this result. So we can do this using the protractor approach, or you can use the formula approach, and trust me, you'll be able to do more questions based on this lesson. Thanks so much for watching.